Having been part of a cult gaming culture for over 2 decades, Persona is one of the most impactful and beloved gaming franchises to ever come out of Japan, and their devoted fan base is just one of the result of their massive continuous popularity in the gaming community. And with Persona 5 having been out for over 5 years at this point, there has been a lot of rumors circulating around regarding the next chapter in the beloved franchise. Add to that the fact that the game franchise is about to hit its 25th anniversary though, the rumor mill has been working overtime. At least that was until they officially announced the 25th anniversary year of Persona, an entire year celebrating the history of Persona, and as it turned out, 7 new announcements that have been revealed over the course of the year. The tweet, of course, blew up in the community with fans and experts all around scrambling to make predictions and conjecture about what on earth could be those predictions. Now, as you clicked on this video, you are also in no doubt curious about what is going to happen for the 25th anniversary, so in this video I'm going to be giving you our own measured take on what I think the 7 new announcements are going to be. And you can rest assured, these takes have a good backing in the release cycle and fan demand amongst other things. And stay tuned till the end of the video because the biggest expected announcement will no doubt blow your mind, even if you already probably guessed what it is. With that, welcome to the video guys. I hope you're doing great, as here are 7 brand new Persona projects that will be revealed this year. As always, if you like these kinds of videos, feel free to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell for timely updates on the new content. And with that done, let's go ahead and jump into number 1, which is Persona 1 and 2 Collection. Now, as we all know, the Persona franchise is made up of many different games, all available on multiple consoles and handhelds, not to mention on PC as well. And with each subsequent release, they've remastered or released at least part of the older games so that they remain relevant into the cycle of the franchise. That, however, is not the case when it comes to Persona 1 and 2, which are the original games of the franchise, and it's not for lack of demand or the lack of content by any means necessary. Both games have slingshotted the game into the public eye and were generally entertaining stuff. However, as consoles have evolved and backwards compatibility has decreased over time due to digital content, there just isn't a new way to play these 2 games anymore. What better way to make the 25th anniversary of the franchise than by once again paying homage to the very original games in the form of a re-release collection? Hopefully, the newer generation of consoles like the PS5 and the Nintendo Switch will see these releases. So as far as the first announcement is concerned, I'm pretty confident in saying that we're going to get some sort of Persona 1 and 2 collection or re-release or whatever they end up calling it. It's probably in the works. Number 2, Persona 5 Royal PS5 Edition. Now, jumping onto the train of re-releases, we have Persona 5 Royal. Now, I'm sure you guys have also made a fair share of jokes about how awfully the team has milked the Persona 5 set of games, and that's understandable. It has no doubt been excessive. But the fact remains that this was a generally good game and people all around loved playing it, and with Royal version being the definitive one-of-a-time generation games into the series, it is pretty necessary that they release it, at least some type of version for it for the modern generation consoles. And so for my next prediction, I'll put forward some form of a PS5 release of Persona 5 Royal. Number 3, Persona Q Collection. Now, the Persona Q games have admittedly been a bit of a mixed bag, but nonetheless, they sold pretty well, and although not as serious as the other games in the franchise, they were nonetheless a ton of fun. And with the last one having been released quite a while back, fans all around have been saying that a new Q game could be in the works. But I personally think that might be a little bit unlikely because they are already planning on releasing Persona 6, and even though a new date hasn't been announced, we can be pretty sure that the developers are working overtime to work on that game to make it out the doors as quickly as possible. And with all of that, making a new game could not be a safe bet. Instead, I'd say they probably want to release a collection of the Q and Q2 games with a bunch of added features like graphical improvements and control inputs. And so that is my third prediction of what's going to be coming out for the 25th anniversary. Number 4, Persona 3 Remastered. Persona 3 was a hit with a capital H. It was loved by original fans, brought in a ton of new ones, and was a milestone for the franchise. But if we remove the nostalgia goggles, it becomes pretty clear that the game, it was just a mess when it first came out, when it came to the multiple platform differences. From the simple lack of controls in PlayStation and handheld editions to the different mechanics in other places, it was pretty difficult to figure out which version of a game you should play. And so for the 25th anniversary, I think they're going to release one definitive in-all version of a game for the newer consoles. No default version difference between the platforms, so they need to remaster this. Now wrapping up quickly with that, we have number 5, Persona 4 Golden Switch Edition. Another game famous for being milked for ages, Persona 4 was nonetheless a fun one, but what does it get in return? No support from Nintendo's flagship console. And so for a pretty confident bet, I'd say the Switch edition of the Persona 4 or Persona 4 Golden is going to be announced in this 25th anniversary. And finally, the big one, we have number 6, Persona Dancing Collection. This is also similar to the Q game situation, as they were popular with fans, and as a result, they were a big part of people's gaming collections. And so, with 3 of the games already out, and a special collection that was made, what could they possibly have in mind? My answer is probably another collection with some extra bonuses and more extensive support. And I know it's not a lot, but with the amount of stuff that they plan to release, I don't think they'll go all out for the dancing games. So my prediction is a special collection featuring all of the dancing games. Now, number 7, finally we have the one you've all been waiting for, and by far the most obvious one, we have the next game in the series, Persona 6. And with the amount of evidence we have gotten since the announcement alone, it will definitely be a part of these 7 releases. But there's a catch. As most of you will remember, Persona 5 took an astronomical amount of time to be made, almost 5 years after Persona 4 originally came out. And since then, they've been working on a lot of different projects than they did back then, and having spent 5 years since the last big release, I don't feel like the game is complete just yet. If asked, I'd say probably 2023 or later is probably the safe time span that we expect to see a whole release for a brand new Persona game. And so what I think will be the big announcement, because again, it's the 7 announcements, not 7 releases. It's a date, trailer, logo reveal, or anything else regarding Persona 6 instead of the game actually being announced. Probably just it's coming. And that's about it from our side. As always, we'd love to hear from you guys about what you think will happen for the 25th anniversary of Persona, and be sure to comment down below your predictions. With that, I think it's time to wrap up the video. Thank you again so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like on this video, and I'll catch you next time.